you have confusion. If there's no right and wrong, well then people aren't sure about their identity.
This is Dave Earley of Dave Earley Ministries. In the first of his 3-part series about atheism, he states that being an atheist brings confusion. And I'm sure it will come as no surprise to anyone that he's going to mention LGBT issues. As you've heard, Earley believes that atheists believe there is no right or wrong. This is, of course, very incorrect, but I won't be addressing that in this video. Instead, I'll be focusing on the assertion that atheism leads to confusion. Earley depicts one bit of confusion as,
Am I male or am I a female?
That, of course, is a reference to being transgender. He then goes on to say,
They're not sure about what marriage is. Is it a man and a man or a woman and a woman?
And that, of course, is a reference to homosexuality. Since I am a part of the LGBT community, this is something that I particularly want to address. The first thing I want to say is that disagreeing with Earley does not mean I or anyone else is confused. Yes, I believe that I should be allowed to marry another man. First of all, however Earley or any other religious person defines marriage is of absolutely no importance. Human beings are capable of forming romantic bonds with people of the same sex. And if that is not legally and socially recognized, it amounts to discrimination. In fact, there are studies that have shown that being allowed to marry the same sex has positive impacts on the mental health of sexual minorities like gay and bi people. So, having a differing opinion than Earley about who should be allowed to marry, even if he attributes his opinion to his God, is not confusion. It's a different opinion, and one that can be and is founded not only on empathy for the people who would be and are discriminated against, like myself, but on actual, demonstrable research. Second, yes, life is a journey of self-discovery. Unfortunately, life doesn't come with an instruction manual, though I am sure Earley would disagree. Some people do go through a process of determining what gender they are, but I don't think it's fair to call that journey of self-discovery in this life confusion. Even if the Bible is true, there are a lot of things we have to figure out about ourselves in order to get through it properly. Let's start with things that I'm sure people like Earley would agree with. As you grow, you find out the kind of foods you like and that you don't like. You learn if you have allergies and avoid them so you don't get sick. Or you keep eating them and deal with the consequences, like my lactose intolerant friends who accept the fact that they'll be living on the toilet for a while afterwards. Now onto something a bit less concrete. I'm an introvert, and I learned a few years ago what that means. If I hadn't, maybe I would have seen my inability to tolerate social activity for too long as a flaw, instead of learning how I should navigate the world in order to be the healthiest me. But I think the process of coming to understand one's gender identity is yet another kind of self-discovery. As you're forcing yourself to express a specific gender your entire life, being told that you are that gender by your family and loved ones, and even society at large, coming to understand your gender does not align with that can be a process. But that does not mean that somebody is confused in the sense that Earley suggests. In fact, all his point comes down to is that disagreeing with him is confusion. It's not confusion though. It's just having a different opinion, different belief, different stance. And of course, Earley's stance is essentially, meaning it has no evidence to support it and is simply taken as fact. What's more, it is a stance that results in discrimination against and harm to the LGBT community.